Yes. Yes.
That's what I hit.
Yes. It says we're live. It says we're live.
For the first time ever on
YouTube. Welcome to episode number 0010 of Back in the Closet with the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. Welcome, everybody. This is the first time we have ever been live on YouTube while doing our podcast.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy. We've never been live on YouTube ever. I think these lights should be adjusted a little bit. We've never been live on YouTube ever. So we don't know what we're doing. But for those of you guys that don't know who the hell we are, my name is Jae.
My name is Adrienne.
And together we are the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. Guys, we have been on a hiatus from our podcast for like a hot minute. Like since December. Well, we haven't recorded since December, actually.
No.
Simply because, well, there was the holidays and then there was vacation stuffs and
Dana's here and Jana's here.
Hello, guys. And so we haven't been able to actually find something to freaking talk about.
No,
really.
But this is all very exciting. I would just like to say welcome to our closet.
Welcome to our closet. So what we do here is our podcast is called Back in the Closet, and
it didn't work. I tried to get rid of notifications.
Sorry if you guys hear dinging.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how to do that on a computer right now. But we'll stop every time we hear a ding and
apologize.
Cheers and drink a glass of
that.
wine.
So every podcast should start with
a glass of wine.
We're drinking a fine rosé today.
A fine rosé.
But what?
But our episode is called, or our podcast is called Back in the Closet for two reasons. One, because it's fucking funny. And two, because you get it? You get it back in the
Anybody
closet?
Get it? Anybody?
Anyway, two, because it's also the only place in our home where we can record a live with our handy dandy little Yeti mic here, where you can pick up our voices and we're not like with like microphones and stupid shit like that.
We're not qualified for audio stuff.
No,
so
we're not.
This is the best place. It's
we're
like a soundproof room, right? I mean, as you see, we have lots of insulation here. So I love you guys so much.
Yes, and for those of you guys joining us live on YouTube, if you would like to see how color coordinated our closet is, you can come over to YouTube and check it out. And thank you guys so much for joining us. And thank you for subscribing to our podcast. For those of you guys that haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe.
Why not?
We have shit to talk about. We always have shit to talk about. Stuff to talk about, guys. We've had a busy day. We're on our second bottle of wine.
This is our second bottle of wine, which probably means this is going to be kind of entertaining. It obviously means that you are going to be a little loose with your tongue tonight.
True. Obviously, this is happening.
I'm hoping she can reel it in before our page live later tonight.
On Facebook. Yeah. Hey.
Because
Sundays are good days. Sundays are great days. I hope everybody is having a great day. Whatever day you're watching this or listening to this. We love you guys. So all of our VIPs are jumping on Face or on YouTube right now.
I literally have butterflies. You guys don't know how nervous we were to actually. We love our podcast. We feel like it's a little bit boring, right? Because we usually just sit here and talk. But we're very nervous to do like a live on YouTube. We're looking it up 20 minutes ago, how to go live on YouTube. We actually didn't put a whole lot of prep into it. So this is really kind of, and it was nerve-wracking for us. We got nervous. We were here like 3 minutes before we had to go, and Jay brought it up to go live and then thought that she was actually live and had a little bit of a
that's why this still looks funny if you saw this still. That still looks funny because I was like, oh my God, are we going live? Now that we know that though, we could like put our powder on and put our
little
faces
pretty
together
faces
and be like,
on first.
Yes, and we push that button and then you get now we know. You live and you learn, guys. That's what it's all about. Let's talk about how we live and learn.
Oh God.
Because that's the real thing, guys, when it comes to
the real deal.
That's the real deal, and that's what we want to talk about. That's what we bring, to all of our other platforms on a regular basis, to YouTube, even YouTube, but to Facebook and to Instagram and to TikTok now and LinkedIn and what's that other platform we're on? Oh, it's called Twitter. That's right.
We're not good tweeters.
We're not great at tweeting,
no.
but
Twitter's a very loud place to be. If you guys are Twitter tweeters. Tweedlers? I don't know.
Litters?
It's such a loud place to be.
It is loud. It's saturated. It's saturated in a lot of politics and stuff. So it's one of those platforms that
people are appreciating your color coordinated closet here. Yeah, I've always been a little irritated by it, but I'm glad that it looks good on camera.
You know what? You love it because when you're rushed to get out the door and you want to wear a black shirt or
a blue shirt
or a white shirt or a red shirt or whatever.
Or orange is actually my favorite color. Look at how small our orange section is here.
Yeah, we need more orange shirts. Hey, how about we do that in our merch shop?
Hey,
y'all.
So let's talk about the living and learning part.
Yeah. So guys, one of the things that we talked about this week on our social media platforms was vaccines. And guys,
big topic.
It is such a hot topic. I mean,
can we talk about Delaware first?
Yeah.
Because we're celebrating Delaware.
Yeah.
Delaware is a big deal. Delaware just passed a law. I'm sure Dr. John Robb had a lot to do with it.
He did.
Did he?
Yes.
Of course he did. He has been a veterinarian that has been so passionate about what happens when we over-vaccinate our cats or pets in general. We're all about the cats. You know what I'm saying? But
we are about a pussy.
Over-vaccination is a real thing. So he has been just an advocate of getting the government to understand that we don't always need to do these very routine vaccinations that go on, especially rabies. Rabies is one of those situations where it is every 1 year or 3 years, depending on the kind of vaccine that you've received.
And it's a law.
And it is a law. So it's in Delaware. Let's start by celebrating. Let's start by celebrating that they just passed a law that said your veterinarian can now vaccine basically
on discretion.
That means tighter testing is approved. That means having your cat or your dog tested to make sure that the antibodies that are there to protect them are still there so that they are not over vaccinated. This is huge news for many of us in the natural pet health world. It's a big step, a very big step towards
it's huge. And it always starts this way, right? It's one person, one state,
one little baby step.
And then when you see that happen, then other states start to follow, and other states are like, oh, that makes sense. And then other people, pet parents like us, that are very, very adamant about making sure that our pets are not over vaccinated, are pushing for and lobbying for. And I don't know what a lobby means other than like the front of a hotel, but whatever that, but for whatever that means, like they lobby and they get their state legislators. Yeah. They
bring attention to it. And this is what's really exciting is we are all for protecting our pets, but we're for doing responsible vaccinations. And that means that, our babies get their first round of what they need to be protected, but especially those rabies vaccines every 1 year or 3 years, which is law in most states. It is a big deal to have a state like Delaware pass a law that lets a veterinarian know that. And
it really raises awareness. So here's the thing, guys, and here's the truth of it is that what they know is that there are dangers to being over vaccinated. This is why our veterinarians are not over vaccinated. So if you're a veterinarian, you have to be vaccinated for rabies because you are going to be in close proximity and contact with
far more likely
many animals that could possibly be rabid, right? So what they need to do is vaccinate you for the disease that you may get, because if you get it, you can die. Right.
Rabies is a no shit situation, which is why it is law. And I understand why it is law because of the fact that it can be transmitted to humans so easily. And that is really what the law is protecting against with these regulatory vaccinations. The awesome thing our veterinarians are tighter tested.
Right. And what a tighter test is, so for those of you guys that don't know, so a vaccine, and there's lots of different studies, many vaccines, especially when it comes to our small animals like our cats, a lot of studies have shown that one vaccine, so they get their first rabies vaccine as a kitten, and for the rest of their lives, or the FERCP vaccine, there's distemper vaccine, for the rest of their life, they are protected from that one vaccine. The problem and the reason that I did my cat tip of the day this week on this specific issue again is because many veterinarians are still recommending a yearly vaccine or even every 3-year vaccine for our cats, our indoor cats that have no probability, even in many cases, of contracting something like rabies or FVRC or distemper, like different issues. They're vaccinating and revaccinating your cat every year. And then because we're in the pet health world, right? We're in the cat health world. That's what we do. What we do is we counsel and we help you guys figure out different ways at home, or maybe a different supplement, or most of the time a different diet that can help your cat live a longer and healthier life. And that's what we do. We get people all the time that tell us that their cats have passed away because of vaccine-induced sarcoma, which is cancer. People like us that have cats, and why we preach about it is because we've been through it, right? Like us that have cats with autoimmune disease due to being over-vaccinated.
The toxicity of
it. The issue is that the truth is that there's no vaccine that comes without a risk, right? So what we need to make sure that we do is weigh those risks. Weigh the risk of, there's also a risk of disease, right? So weigh the risk of, is your cat an outdoor cat? Is your cat an indoor only cat? Can your cat be at the FELV, the feline leukemia vaccine? One, guys, I'm just going to say, the studies show that it's not even effective in less than 50% of the time. So we don't ever do that. But say you're worried about it. It is.
And we lost a baby to feline
leukemia.
Who was vaccinated for it?
He wasn't. Was he?
Yes, he was.
Tidy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
See, we didn't even know what we were doing back in the day. I'm telling you, we didn't even know what we were doing. We were just like doing it if they said do it.
I think what you're saying though is that for every vaccine, there is the reason they have vaccines because of the great benefit of avoiding disease. But when we have regular vaccines, there's also the risk that comes with that vaccine, and there's always going to be a risk that comes with a vaccine. And it's not that vaccines are bad. People are like, oh, anti-vaxxers. No, we're for the responsible protection.
All of our cats have been vaccinated as kittens.
Right.
We are not anti-vaxxers.
Tanya has a very good question here, though. She said, is it too late for my baby Missy, since she is now almost 3 years old, to get all of her shots? She came to me as a rescue from a hoarding situation and has never been vaccinated. This is actually a great situation, Tanya, because you have the time and the resources available to responsibly vaccinate.
Yes.
So, and the big thing I would say is it's important for our cats to get their initial vaccines. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. I would go ahead and get her tested to make sure she's not already dealing with an illness, because we never want to vaccinate a sick kitty in any way. But you can also, a lot of times with kittens, you bring them in for their shots and they're spay and neuter. That's a lot of stress on their system.
All at one time.
Right. You've got the opportunity with your rescue to space out those vaccines so that they don't take a toll on her system, and that so she gets the protection that's needed without a lot of the side effects that come with a huge onslaught of vaccines all at once.
Yeah.
So awesome situation for your Missy. It's not.
Yeah. No, it's actually great. So we always say wait as long as possible to vaccinate, if possible. We want their immune systems to be completely developed. So 3 years is that's actually a great thing. If she's completely healthy and now is time for her vaccines, you can do that. Now, here's another tip for you guys. When it comes to vaccinating, ask for, and this is going to be a big word. It's weird. I don't necessarily understand exactly what it means. I mean, I do, but only in layman's terms. But ask for a non-adjuvanted vaccine. Right. So there's basically what it is there's a live vaccine where they pump your cat full of the disease. Right. So they give your cat the disease so that the immune system says nope. And then
can fight it.
Yeah. It basically becomes immune to it. Right. So they give your cat, say, rabies. They give your cat rabies. And a non-adjuvanted means it's not a live disease that they're giving your cat. It is, as I like to think of it, a dead disease, right? It's the disease, but it's the dead disease. So it comes with a lot less risk of side effects. So a non-adjuvanted, ADJUVANTED, I think is how you spell it. I don't freaking know.
I would not put money on that. But Foster the Feline said, if more people requested the titer testing, do you think it would start lowering the cost of the testing?
There was another ding.
I'm sorry for
guys,
the ding.
but you know what that means.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
So titer testing, just to recap though real quick, titer testing, for those that just joined us, titer testing is a way for us who are being told that our cats need regular vaccines. Instead, we can say, can we titer test for this? Do we have to cheers again?
Yep. And cheers. I'm going to run out of wine. We didn't bring the bottle.
Apologies for the dinging, you guys. We can't figure out how to turn off our notifications.
We're going to keep it short.
So titer testing is awesome because it's a simple blood test that is, you're absolutely right, Foster the Felines. Missy, you do such amazing work.
Yes.
It is a way to do a small blood test that will test to see if our kitties still have the antibodies needed to protect them against whatever the disease is.
So basically,
right now it's expensive.
So basically, what a vaccine is a vaccine it protects you against, it protects your cat against a virus, right?
Why are you so popular?
I have no idea.
We have to figure out how to turn off the texting.
Yeah, we have to figure that out. Anyway, sorry guys. So a vaccine protects your cat against a disease. A titer test tells you if that vaccine is still protecting your cat against that disease. Like, that's an easy way of putting it, right? So a titer test is just a blood draw, just like anything else that you should be doing yearly anyway, to see if your cat is still protected. If your cat is still protected, then we don't want to vaccinate them again because we don't want to risk the risk of a vaccine-induced sarcoma, a vaccine reaction, all the illnesses that come along with that can, not always, but they definitely can, and we deal with it.
And we've dealt with a lot of people that
dealt with it ourselves, and we talk to people on the regular.
And it's one of those things that's like super simple. If we know that there are alternatives that we can avoid, it's just something that we just don't even have to worry about the risk of it if we know what's going on.
Right.
And Dave, I love that there's a gentleman, Dave, here that works for cats in the UK. I love you so much. Jenny is here. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so hi Trisha. Tanya said, so the non-adjuvanted is like the flu shots that we get as humans. It isn't live anymore. Yes, it is basically like that. I think only the nasal spray flu mist is live. I'm actually not sure. We don't do we actually don't get the flu shot.
No, we don't do the flu shot, but we're also
for ourselves.
For ourselves. We're kind of anti-vaxxer. No, we're not. I mean, we got
all of our
measles,
basics,
mumps, and rubella shots
Polios,
as kids,
all that
and we're
stuff.
like, we're good. We don't do any for ourselves, but you know what? Here's the thing, guys. Lord, have the mercy. When it comes to protecting yourself or your cat's self from disease, the best thing you can do is make sure that they have a strong immune system. Make sure you have a strong immune system. We don't necessarily need, not always do we need the best vaccines out there if our immune systems are strong. Now for us, that means, we have to eat healthier. That means we may need to take more vitamin C. We need to drink less alcohol, like things that we need to do. Don't wash our hands. Like the news tells you all the time, right? These things that you need to do.
Basic precautions. Trisha also does not get the flu shot, and I'd never get sick. I have a paranoia
never had the flu shot in
just
my life.
Because I was brought up always with the vitamin C and building your immune system and probiotics and a diverse microbiome, and that is so true. Like they're naturalists now, I guess. But everybody that I know in the outside world that goes and regularly gets their flu shots
ends up with the flu.
Always gets the flu. And I just keep trucking.
And we don't know how that works. I mean, people say the flu shot does not create the flu. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I think
it's very important. I think vaccines are super important. And this is where I think the immune system comes into play. It's the same thing with our cats. For the very young who have an underdeveloped immune system and the very old that have a depleted immune system, I think it can be life-saving. Absolutely life-saving. For those
vaccine?
Yes.
I do not agree with that. I will tell you, I do not agree with
that. Wow, we have a little controversy here back in the closet.
So one, immune system needs to be completely developed. The vaccine, right?
I do that.
Why does that need to happen? Because it compromises. So an older cat, I am never for. And
exposed to thing. What's different is what I'm saying. I'm talking about humans, with children and with the elderly.
Oh,
if they're going to be exposed to something, then a vaccine can be life-saving because their immune system is not strong.
Maybe. Yeah.
So
I don't know how it works.
Which is why with our kitties, we're such advocates of waiting as long as we can to give them their vaccines so that their immune system is as developed as possible. Ideally, in a situation where they're not exposed to things that would compromise. Like, where'd it go? There was a comment here that said, tested. Where'd you go?
Did you hear that again?
Dang it.
Hey. People are texting us about their dogs. Or their friends' dogs, actually. That's what happens.
I wanted to say, hey, Jessica. JC in the house. Oh, I missed it.
Okay. Well,
but okay. I think Tanya was saying that I think Tanya said that she tested negative for FeLuke and FeLV and FIP, which is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, I mean, and the more tests we can do, the better, right? So, definitely, we're not anti-vaxxers and we're not anti-veterinarians, right? Like we want to be proactive as pet parents. So we want to do as much as possible at home. One, that does save in the long run on vet bills by far.
Oh, it does.
But two, we definitely still need to know. So a yearly and bi-yearly every 6 months for older cats. But every year for our younger cats, which we have to make an appointment.
We do. Aloha, Roberta.
We've got Twist that needs to go in for his 6 month.
Pooh Bear needs his wellness.
Oh, Pooh Bear does.
But Mr. Biddles has his follow-up.
The kittens are coming on 2 years.
And the babies need to go in.
We're spending Valentine's Day, guys, at the veterinarian. Yeah.
It's going to be a great night.
We have an appointment.
It's going to be great. He's doing so good.
Yeah.
Mr. Biddles was losing weight for a long time. And Mr. Biddles is in the batch of kitties that we over-vaccinated. He has the herpes virus. He has been struggling with a number of things.
Yeah.
He's not as bad as our Pooh Bear. Our Pooh Bear was over-vaccinated with the rabies vaccine and developed a really raging autoimmune disease because of it.
Turns out Biddles was vaccinated for herpes as a kitten, and that's what he deals with.
And that's what he's dealing with.
It's so interesting, guys. It's very interesting the way that what you find that you don't have. We as individuals, or even as a company, we do not have the money to fund some kind of like large study. But what you can do is look at
empirical evidence.
And what we see and what we know and what we and then what we see because we're in this industry on a daily basis is that there's so many pets out there that are dealing with issues because of or right after or not even sometimes it's not even right after. That's the issue is that
it's like with Pooh Bear.
Yeah, like with Pooh Bear, he was vaccinated. Well,
immediately connect
it did immediately happen
within a month that we started noticing.
But we didn't connect it at that time.
Nope.
We didn't connect it for like maybe a year after that. And then we're like, oh, this is making sense now once we learned
more. And I think that's this is a very specific piece of a much larger conversation we were talking about earlier with we're so excited that they have these new healthy natural pet expos that are popping up all over the country. And it's such a great opportunity for us to learn about what natural health means to our cats and dogs, what natural health really can do as far as being proactive. I think as cat parents, especially because cats hide their pain, our cats are fine until they're not. And then we're very desperate in a way to try to find out how to help them or figure out what went wrong or, a number of those questions. So vaccines is one piece of a very much bigger conversation.
A bigger conversation, but we have to be, but it does tell, what did we start with? It was like, that's what led us into this. It's something about, it wasn't know better, do better, but that's what I'm thinking, but it was something else.
Today?
Yeah, like how we started this podcast, like we started talking about the subject.
Who knows?
Who knows? Like, guys, we're like all over the place all the time.
We are. We were a little nervous for our first YouTube live, and
this is kind of like real exciting.
I feel so in love with all of you right now for taking the time to join us.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much. And I love that there's so many people out. You guys, it's so amazing to be part of such a like-minded community that wants to know better and do better for our babies. It's interesting.
That's what we were saying. What? Is it like, I don't remember what the quote was that we started with, but it's, here's the thing, guys, when you're talking to us, I'm just going to say us specifically. when you're talking.
What was that?
I was trying to move it closer, and then I was like, let me just put it in my face. Put it in your mouth. But when you're talking to us specifically, guys, we only are telling you guys the stuff that we've learned. And it's because the majority of what we've learned has been purely from experience. And so there is zero judgment. We are not anti-vaxxers, and we do not judge you if you are. Like, or if you are, or if you aren't, and you vaccinate every year. Like, there's no judgment there, zero judgment. What it is that we live and we learn. Our jobs, what we feel like our jobs are to do, is to spread the news of the knowledge that we have gained from experience and experience,
deep diving.
Either personal experience or experience in the field. It's really important for us to learn something. Our motto is learn, share, and grow every day.
Every day.
So we try to do our best to learn as much as we can and share that with you guys, so that you guys can also take that knowledge and do as you may with it. But if it helps you in some way to do better by your cats, then that's fantastic. And if it's like, that's not relevant to me today, then fine, that's great. For somebody else, maybe it is, and maybe if it's not for anybody.
And what's exciting is so much of what we've learned. It's like you hear something someday somewhere, and then in the minute that you need it, it comes back to you. I just want to mention this. Trisha said, I learned from your Pooh Bear's experience. Our Pooh Bear is the one that was over vaccinated with rabies and had a really terrible bleeding out, a vascular inflammation,
literally autoimmune disease. That he has a we're so excited.
We're going on 4 months.
4 months without any steroids. This is so great, guys. We've learned so much along the way. But he had a ulcer in his mouth from this autoimmune disease. Also on his ears. He had it on his lips for a while, in his eyes, like things like that, where they will bleed. And if he got stressed out, this one time he got so stressed out because one of our friends brought over his dogs into our backyard, and he saw him through the window. That we don't know ulcer in his mouth went upward, hit an artery, and he just started spewing blood from his mouth. Guys, that's scary.
It looked like we murdered someone in our home, and he was just gurgling on blood. It's a horrifying experience to just be like, just grab your baby and go. I mean, it was just, and so Trisha, to your point, I learned from your Pooh Bear's experience, you saw Pam Roussel with Perfectly Holistic, and turns out your baby had the same vaccinosis from rabies. From that rabies shot. Would never have known without you guys. This is exactly
and that's what we do.
Fuels us.
Yes. When we learn something that can help, that it can help our babies, we want to share it so that it can help your baby.
Put it under a bushel, no.
I'm gonna let it shine.
That's right. Oh, Roberta, thank you so much. Tanya, I'm so excited that you got a 3-year-old baby with great tests coming back. That is so exciting.
So beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think that'll wrap up.
I think so.
I think it'll wrap up episode number 0010, which I'm really excited that it's no longer 000.
But at the beginning you said 00010, and Dana said 1 extra 0.
Oh, did I? No,
yeah,
I'm not trying to get to the 10,000s. Not to the 10,000s, guys. Yeah, we do the 00s before because our goal is to get to 1,000, at least 1,000 podcasts.
We're gonna do it
eventually.
We just hit 10. We're well on our way.
We just hit today is 10. So thank you guys so much for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, please do. You can find it at Apple and Spotify and all those places. And thank you so much for joining us on YouTube.
Special shout out to YouTube.
I'm sorry. You guys,
means a lot that you guys joined us today.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. You guys can please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be coming out with DIY cat food recipes this year, once a month. You're going to get formulated to meet all balance guidelines by the professionals.
That's right.
We're going to be showing you guys some awesome recipes for cat food that you can make at home on a budget, because we're ballers on a budget.
Ballers on a budget.
Yeah, bitches on a budget.
You know how we be doing.
So we love you guys so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll
see you next week, hopefully.
We'll see you very soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.